Welcome back to the channel. Before we kind of dig into what I wanted to talk about with you guys, I was going to give you a quick little update on what I've got behind me. I've been slowly working on this Kubota. I've posted a few things on my Instagram, and this will be the next video I actually do post. I'm still working on it currently. We've got a new head, all the parts over here, and just everything kind of to put it back together. So that'll be in the next video. I've also obviously got the Pro XP back there. And if you guys saw my last video, I'm going racing in 2024. It doesn't really look like it's in race mode yet, but I do have a lot of parts that I'm getting ready to order and people that I've been interacting with and a ton of racers that I've even been talking to. So that kind of whole aspect actually ties in with what I'm about to talk about with the whole racing community and all that stuff. But that video will be coming shortly as well. I've got one part in particular. It's actually the cross member, and I got to finish that all up. I got to get the whole bottom of the frame straightened out before I really start modifying the RZR and getting it ready to race. But that's what is coming in the future. Let's get to the topic that I really wanted to talk about, and that is short course racing and the community that surrounds it. A quick little background, and again, I'm just a recreational rider, but I have loved short course and just all UTV racing for multiple years. I've been following it. Even before I had a UTV, I watched a lot of the UTV racing. I love watching like the pros and every level of it. I used to watch like the Pro 2 and the Pro 4s and stuff like that, but I really got hooked on it once Mid-America started their series down in Jay, Oklahoma, and it really made me want to get a UTV and then also eventually race. As kind of an idea in the back of my head. Obviously, I wasn't planning on racing the Pro XP Ultimate. You don't really need all the crazy technology that Pro has, but I'm gonna make it work, at least for the amateur year. But with Mid-America, I think they're going through some growing pains right now, and there's been a lot of stuff kind of going on behind the scenes. There's different forms of short course racing to what I can kind of understand. So there's like desert racing short course. So out on the West Coast, they kind of have a form of short course racing. I think it's like a Works series. There's a few different series out there. But then there's like kind of Midwest short course. So if you look up Crandon, or I think Elk River is another big one up north. There's a few big, like kind of iconic tracks up north, kind of Wisconsin, Michigan area. And then there's Mid-America. Mid-America is kind of the new guy on the block. They've been around for like 6 or 7 years, I would say. And they've been growing like crazy. They've really figured out how to do events and get entertainment out there for the people watching the races, which is a big thing. It's not just for the racers, it's for the fans and getting more people out there. So one of the things that started happening this off season is they were getting ready to kind of start a national series. And at round 7 of their short course races this year, Mid-America invited Champ Offroad for the final round of the Champ Series. And I think there was some behind the scenes meetings going on and some talks maybe about a merger, the two of those companies maybe working together, is kind of what I have gathered through social media and just seeing other people talk about it. And it sounded like that meeting did not go as planned to certain people. And there's just a gray area with what all happened. And one thing I really want to do with short course is kind of get to where there's not such a divide. The thing is, like, there's no unity between series and it's people bashing each other. So you look at Champ Off-Road pages and look at the comment section, you look at Mid-America, look at the comment section, and it's a lot of times it's people going back and forth and just dogging on each other. We're never gonna get anywhere in a sport when people don't get along and can't just appreciate the sport for what it is, and that's gonna mean supporting other series. I just think there's some people that are super quick to judge, and there's a few kind of higher up people that have really spoken their opinions, which is fine. Like I'm all for that, and until there's clarity with all of these series, people can speak their opinions, that's fine. But you can't just bitch and not do anything about it. You have to have a solution, whether we are coming up with a solution and suggesting it to some of these series, or we're just doing it ourselves and making it happen. It's gonna take us and this whole community to do it, but I think we need to bridge that gap. There's not really any glue that is holding UTV short course racing together, and a lot of that glue is gonna be the fan base. It's gonna be the people that support the series. It's not just the racers. Obviously the racers make it happen, but the next thing is sponsors. And finding benefit to the sponsors, finding benefit for the fans, and getting people to these tracks so they can experience it and keeping them entertained throughout the whole thing. So short course has a lot of downtime. We need to have events for these people, these families that are coming out and supporting the racers. I think for this sport to grow, we can't rely just on the series to make it happen. It's gonna boil down to the racers finding new ways to build other people up. One thing in this other podcast is all these racers keep saying that the series need to go national. They need to go national. Well, they're not going to be able to go national when the series themselves can't get along. And the other issue with that is when one series doesn't get along with the other, another one just forms and kind of tries to fill the gap, but then it just adds another series to a whole list of people that are trying to make a series happen. And then there's never going to be a bridge. There's never going to be a link between those. And that's what's going to be an issue. So one thing I started thinking of today, it's going to take all the media people, it's going to take all the race promoters, and ultimately it's going to take these series owners to just come down to earth a little bit and join forces and really produce content in an environment that is super inviting to a ton of different people. And that is what will take this series in this form of racing national. That could mean, okay, we're not doing 100% Champ Off-Road, we're not doing 100% Mid-America, but instead we're going to some of these different races in different states. There's a ton of tracks in Missouri. I think they're getting ready to build a few in Kansas, and there's some down in Texas that they're working on. So we've got Texas, we've got Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, up north. We've got an entire Midwest region of tracks ready to go. That would make it national. Obviously, we would like to tie in East and West Coast, but that can happen at a later date. And what I think we need to do is figure out a way to market all these different tracks and go to them, whether we're pros, amateurs, experts, whatever class you're in. We just need to help support some of these other races. Now, Mid-America, as long as they do have the series, is going to be my main race next year. It's one of the closer tracks to me. I really like the environment that they have down there. The entertainment aspect is very family friendly. They just have a ton going on. Well, there's also a track in Adrian, Missouri. It's called Adrenaline Motorplex. I really want to go down there and race there too. So I think what it's going to take is people going to these other tracks and showing, hey, we're okay with going to these different tracks. Because I could go to Jay, Oklahoma for 5 weekends out of the year, and it's going to be the same fans, it's going to be the same racers, it's going to be the same environment. Well, I need to go to Missouri too, because there's people in Missouri that maybe don't know what short course racing is, but we need to get them out to the track so they can see it for themselves too, and that is going to help grow the sport. And I think a big thing that has been on my mind recently is kind of how we approach sponsorships. So I don't really have sponsorships. I do have a couple companies that have supported me along the way. So I've got RPM Power Sports. They've been on board since I think I had 300 subscribers. Jason reached out and was like, hey, I got these products. If you want to kind of test them out, review them, put them on your page, great. I'll keep sending you some. So I did that. And Midwest Dirt Fiend was another big supporter. He sent me that cage. He sent me the tree kickers, and I've loved it. It's been an awesome experience. But I think what people are caught up on now with sponsorships is, okay, I want your part, I want your product, and I'll just promote it on my page and kind of show people how I'm using it. We need to provide more value than that to the sponsors. We have to be able to not only promote their stuff, but sell it. We have to be their salesman. And that doesn't mean go out and shove these products down their throats, because that's not the environment that we want to put off. It could be as simple as just making sure you are aligning with that sponsor's values and upholding those values. And then through you racing with their product, people are gonna see that. People are gonna see how you present yourself at the track. They're gonna see those logos on the car. Maybe if it's an exhaust, they're gonna hear it and be like, dude, that sounds sick. And they might go search it, and then boom, there's a sale. So it's not necessarily shoving products down people's throats. It's just leading by example and being better for those sponsors. I just went to First Form headquarters last Friday and got a workout in, and actually got to tour this facility, their headquarters, and really learn more about them. I've always been a big supporter of First Form, or at least the last couple of years. And the whole core value thing and aligning yourself with sponsors' values really kind of got brought to light through going to First Form. They've got, I think, 10 different core values. I'll put them up here on the screen, and I guarantee you everybody watching this and anybody in off-road can align with at least 3 of these core values. And I honestly believe that if we could adopt even just 3, maybe even 5 of these core values, we could seriously change the culture of off-road racing. And what Andy has been really talking about is how can you provide value for those sponsors without asking for money, without asking for product, and make sure you are doing that before you approach them. He talks about a lot how he started with just a supplement company. And that's honestly what I thought First Form was for the longest time. I thought they were just a supplement company. But they're a company that is working to build a new culture, a new community of people that just want to win and be better and help others and just be the best people that they can ultimately be. And it is such an intoxicating culture. Like, I was there for 3 hours and I was hooked. Like, it was just incredible. It just really, again, got me thinking how we can approach sponsorships and making sure we're not just promoting them on social media, but we're going out of our way and finding new people that might align with those products and could ultimately benefit from them. One thing we forget is a lot of the people that follow us are going to be our fellow racers or other enthusiasts. That isn't really going to grow the sport. What's going to grow the sport is getting people that have no clue what a freaking UTV is, and then they're going to slowly kind of start watching racing. I keep relating this to NASCAR. There's probably millions of people that watch NASCAR or Formula One. Same thing. Formula One's probably even bigger than NASCAR. What is the percentage of people that watch it then will ever see one of those Formula One cars in person? It is going to be a very small percentage. My point with this is that's the same thing with UTV racing. That's what we need to get it to really grow the sport. Currently, probably the only people that watch UTV racing are UTV racers and other UTV enthusiasts that go out and just ride on the trail on a weekly basis, and they just want to watch some racing. We need to show how awesome this sport is and how fun it can be if we're not being a bunch of jackasses and only promoting the shit that we want to promote. We have to help other people grow. We have to help other series grow. We have to be our own promoters and promote the series. We can't rely on these series to be the end all be all. We have to be the change. We have to work from the bottom up to help build these series, to help build other racers, to help bring more people into the sport. It's not going to be easy. Like, I'm not some dude that's got it all figured out. I'm sitting here with a torn down Kubota and a Pro XP that looks like it's ready for the woods. I'm not even close to where I need to be to go racing, but we're gonna make it happen. We're gonna show you guys along the way how we're gonna do it. Whether that's I fail the first year and then get back up and do it again the second year, but I'm gonna try to learn through social media and making connections with other people to continue to bring people that don't even know what a UTV is a better experience. If they stumble across my page and see one race and then they get hooked, and then we can get them down to a track to see it in person, and then they bring friends and then they bring family, that's gonna provide more value for your sponsors because that's getting more eyes on them. That's getting more people that potentially might get a side-by-side and get into the sport. We shouldn't be promoting to other racers. We need to be promoting to outside people and really growing that sport. So I think that's kind of where we're gonna be headed for 2024, and that's just gonna be to try to get as many people involved in the UTV world that aren't currently in it. And that could be motocross racers, that could be people that you just stumble across on the side, like walking in and out of the store. Maybe you've got a jersey on or a hoodie with a UTV and you hear a little kid, "Oh, what, Mom, what's that?" You stop and tell them. Be like, "Oh, it's this. Show them some pictures. Be like, "Yeah, I've got a race next weekend. Here's the link. You can watch me actually go out here and race." A lot of these race series have live streams. Share the crap out of those live streams. Send it to your friends, send it to your family. Whenever you're in conversation with people, "Oh, hey, what do you do?" "Oh, I race UTVs. Here's a link, this will take you to my next race." And just that word of mouth and spreading those live streams and spreading pictures and videos and all that stuff is going to help build the sport. It's not going to be easy. I don't have all the answers. This is just what's been going through my mind, what I think is going to work, and maybe people are already trying that. That's fine. But I want to kind of take my own spin at it. I want to bring these values that First Form has also kind of brought to life in me and really just be better people. Like that's what it comes down to. My ultimate goal is going to be to make it to where short course racing and UTV racing as a whole is an actual viable career for people. And that's going to take some time, but that is my ultimate goal. I want people to look at this and be like, "I want to be a UTV racer when I grow up." There's NASCAR drivers, there's Formula One car drivers, there's all these top tier athletes. NFL, it doesn't have to be any different than the NFL. People can learn, like, hey, this is an actual sport that if I work my ass off and learn and grow, I can actually make a career out of it. And there's not a whole lot of people showing how you can make it a career currently and just helping people do that. I mean, there's a few of the pro racers that are sponsored by like Can-Am and Polaris. They're making it work. And there's some of the like the Pro 2 and Pro 4 drivers, they're making it work. But most of the people that are doing these racing events and all these series are average people that just have a 9-to-5 job and then they're weekend warriors on the track. And I think we can change that, but ultimately we just need to spread the sport like crazy and get it to grow to where we're bringing in these bigger manufacturers and people that aren't typically involved in the sport. For me, First Form is going to be a big one I'm trying to get involved. They're a company that has some of the most badass core values and they live it up. They actually work at their core values. I've never been at a company that actually supports and lives by their core values. They might have them plastered on the wall, but that's it. You have to actually act on those core values. And that's what we need to do in the sport, is have a set of core values that we all rely on, that we all work on. And that's how we support and build each other up. And I mean, I just look at like, yeah, First Form, it's kind of a random company, but kind of not. You look at Home Depot, they're huge sponsors in NASCAR. Menards, Lowe's, M&M's, all these companies that have nothing to do with NASCAR racing, but they're on cars. And the reason is the people that are in the stands watching see that stuff, and they are everyday people that shop at Home Depot. Like that's how it is. That's exactly how it works. But we don't have the fan base, we don't have the amount of people seeing these races yet to where that kind of stuff can happen. So we need to all work together to make that happen. So that's a lot. It's gonna be a lot for me to take on. I've got a lot of people that I've been talking to. I've been talking to several other racers that race at Mid-America. I've been talking to some of the people that race the Champ Series. I've been talking to George Hamill at the Dirt Life Show. If you guys haven't seen or heard what he does, I'm gonna link his Instagram and all that stuff down in the description. He is one of the best advocates for off-road racing right now, and he's absolutely killing it. So definitely go down there, support him, check it out, because his whole story and what he stands for is what we need to be doing in off-road racing. Like he even said some of the values that First Form has. Like without even knowing what First Form is, he already has some of those values. And that's what I'm saying. A lot of us can align with him. It just takes us being the bigger person and actually putting those things into action. I cannot wait for 2024. The whole build series with this thing, which it's not going to be anything crazy. I mean, it's going to be pretty basic. It'll probably be 3 or 4 videos of me building it, and that'll be it. And then it'll just be a continuous upgrade cycle as the years go on. But I cannot wait to show that stuff. I can't wait to actually start racing and making racing content, because I used to race flat track on the ATVs, and editing those videos was fun. I can only imagine what editing a UTV racing video is going to be like. So I cannot wait for that. And just the amount of connections I've already made in this community, I don't think it's far-fetched to say that this can get to where we are on the level of NASCAR and Formula One. The people are here in the industry. We just have to figure out how to unite everyone and grow together for the bigger goal of going in a national series and taking this to where we have live streams that have 1 million people on them. To me, that's not far-fetched at all. Like, I think that is a very viable thing to happen in the next couple of years. We just got to figure it out and work, and we just got to make it happen at the end of the day. So that's pretty much all I've got. I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. If you're still here, thank you for the support, and share the channel, share kind of the mission, check out First Form, check out some of these other companies that I got linked down below. Let's just get out in 2024 and make it a better year. Like, it's probably going to be a shit show with the elections. I think we all can probably agree with that. So let's at least get out there and have fun off road. Let's just be better people at the end of the day. We're all Americans out here. Let's just get together and have a fucking good time, and let's just make it happen. I do want to say real quick, the support recently has been great. I owe a lot of it to God. God has been there through this whole thing. My wife and I, some of the battles we've had at this house, kind of the growing pains of owning a house. He has been a huge help in our lives. Yeah, he's not necessarily writing us checks so we can afford to do this stuff, but he's giving us peace and clarity and just helping us share our mission and just align with the right people. we've got to come together and be better people, and he's going to see that, and he will help us grow together. And ultimately, this mission is going to get accomplished. I 100% guarantee it. We just have to go about it for the right reasons. So thank you, Lord. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Peace.